We have one before this very house, and I think it hasn't matured. So bear with us. Maybe by mid-January or so, 2020, you will see the instrument. We have one here.
So are you assuring the House that you expedite work to make sure this regulation comes to be? It's not, but the thing is that it's here. It's a work between us. No. Which? No. Which one? Which regulation here? Where? No, it's not before us.
I remember what he suggests is that they have done their part. The rest is word for the lawmakers. Yes, continue.
But Chairman, we should get the record right. As far as I'm concerned, it's a learned Attorney General who, in pre-sitting before the commencement of this sitting, formally conveyed to the Speaker and leadership her intention to get some laws amended, which included the judicial service regulations. But as to whether that has been referred and laid in Parliament and referred to subsidiary legislation, that has not been done. It's just official correspondence that she conveyed. I just thought that I should state this for the record.
Yes, ask another question. What was your second leg?
Mr. Chairman, I believe the second leg is more important to me. As a new Chief Justice, I was expecting that he will cooperate and liaise effectively with Attorney General's Department to make sure that this regulation comes before the House properly and is addressed by the House.
The information he had earlier given was that it has left their part. The Attorney General is confirming that it is with them. So ask another question so that we make...
Let me take my Lord to a very familiar territory. And when I say familiar, he knows. Me and him enjoys football. We enjoy football. And we talk about football a lot. So, my Lord, you've been serving on the Discipline and Ethics Committee for FIFA and CAF for a long time. Is it lawful for you as a Supreme Court Justice of Ghana to serve on these committees? Which?
And I remember, ask another question.
No, I'm coming.
Members, order. I'm here.
Coming. I'm going to the second leg of the question.
Please ask another question.
No, I'm going to the second leg of it. You've served on this, and you're becoming the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of this country. Very, very ethical issues have come before the court pertaining to the management and administration of football in this country. What assurances are you giving me with your perception and knowledge about football that these cases will have prolonged in the courts? For example, the outcome of the Brazil Commission report and the case that came before the court, which virtually arrested the implementation of the white paper. Also, the issue of Kwesi Nyantakyi via number 12.
Ignore the part relating to somebody who is not here. Answer the question on.
So, what are we going to do? What are we going to see in making sure that because of your interest in football, that cases involving football and football administrators will be expedited in order for us to have justice?
Mr. Chairman, please, I will track the case to know where it has reached. Yes, and if it turns out that I have to assign the case to a judge who can expeditiously dispose of it, it could be an additional judge of the court of appeal.
My Lord, are you suggesting that you're going to give priority to football cases or all cases?
Please, certainly not. But in litigation, if you are trying to recover possession from a tenant, left to the tenant, the case will drag on for 10 years. So that he will comfortably be in possession. Left to the landlord, he wants 1 week to get the tenant out. So that is the dilemma. So what I will do is that if the case calls for some urgency, I will do my best to have it expeditiously disposed of.
We have one more.
Yeah, still on football. My Lord, there was this perception that issues pertaining to football don't go to court until that famous judgment on the case between, is it Kojo Mensah and the GFA. In your own opinion, let me ask, objectively, do you think that that sort of immunity or indemnity given to football administrators because of the fact that cases involving football clubs don't go to court, do you think it's fair? Doesn't it take away the rights of people to seek justice when they have been unfairly treated in issues pertaining to football?
Mr. Chairman, the position of the law is that, you see, parties or associations cannot come together and oust the jurisdiction of the court to interfere in their affairs. Yes, it is only in England where they don't want to see football cases in court at all, and it is supported by some legislation. Yes, because if you know the number of people who depend on football, you will be surprised. Yes, but here, everybody want to come to court, regardless of the fact that there are some procedures at the FA Secretariat. Just because his club is going on relegation, he will resort to the legal process for redress. And most often, they lose most of the cases. So that has been the experience. I would not say that the High Court should always interfere in the matters which come to the court when it borders on football. No, not at all. Because then, as a judge, I would be denying the court the jurisdiction to entertain those matters. But if they come, what I will do is that I will try and see whether the case will be disposed of in earnest. That is the best I can do. But certainly, we cannot prevent anybody from coming to court. We don't have that power.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Patricia PJ.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate our dear brother for being nominated for the well-deserved position of a CJ. Honorable Mr. Chairman, I've observed from the NIS CV that he has undertaken a number of study tours to Tanzania, Nigeria, USA, and the UK. I've also noted with interest the number of judicial committees he has chaired. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to know from the nominee, what critical provisions would you recommend to Parliament for necessary amendment? Thank you.
In which particular area are you interested in amendment?
In the translation of the law. Okay. Hello.
My Lord, is it clear to you?
No, my Lord.
In the transformation of the law, that's what I mean. Sorry.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, I'm still finding it very difficult to appreciate her concerns.
All right,
yes.
Let me try and see if I can make sense. At least you being a member of the Constitutional Review, you represented the judiciary. Now, is there any part of the Constitution you consider worthy of further discussion or review?
Oh, yes, Mr. President.
Sorry.
Mr. Chairman.
I haven't reached there yet.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, we have subjected the Constitution to several interpretations when the cases appear to the Supreme Court and our jurisdiction is invoked. Yes, and there are some few areas where I think we can certainly have another look at it and see what we can do, especially this Article 131, which Honorable Member was drawing my attention to it. Going all out to deny some people who commence action at the circuit court and will not have access to the Supreme Court unless they ask for the leave. And the high courts are not just there for anybody to go there. Maybe, for all you know, he comes from an area where it takes several days to even get to the high court. But then the nearest court will be the circuit court. But then when there is an apparent error which could be corrected by an appeal, he is prevented by the clear provisions of 131 not to get access to the Supreme Court. So these are some of the areas.
Yes, second question.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I do also appreciate that jurisdiction for delivery of justice are the creation of constitution and statute. I would like to ask that we are all very much aware of what happens in our traditional setting, where justice delivery is being taken by the traditional authorities. May I know if you are in support of this and whether you will consider ceding some aspect of justice delivery to the traditional authorities? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if you look at even the area of chieftaincy, yes, the judiciary is certainly denied of jurisdiction. We don't interfere in chieftaincy matters unless maybe somebody invokes the jurisdiction at the High Court for due process by way of judicial review. We are completely incapacitated in dealing with chieftaincy matters unless maybe you go through the judicial committees up to the National House of Chiefs and then you want to come to the Supreme Court. But there you have to satisfy the court that there is a genuine case to go on appeal before you are granted leave to come to the Supreme Court. If we assume the jurisdiction in all these areas, please, we cannot work. And you look at the various cases pending, even there they have problems, pending at the, the judicial committees of various traditional councils, regional house, and even the national house. So we have, the lawmakers have ceded part of our jurisdiction to them. And more so when they settle cases by ADR, we also recognize them.
Thank you. I think I'll, yes, Honorable Elecha, and then I'll, please. We have.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. In Ghana, we always talk about the superior courts. And also, I'm hearing there is a major process in which you want to have magistrates and district courts to be called the lower courts. Are you going to continue with this initiative by the outgoing Chief Justice?
Mr. Chairman, my problem is that the matter has moved away from the Judicial Council. Yes, it has moved away from the Judicial Council where this was proposed. Yes, so it is beyond my reach. The Honorable Attorney General is here, and I think she can certainly brief you if we close this session. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, my question is, will you continue to support it? Now that is left to you, if it comes back, or in your view, did you actively support it?
Mr. Chairman, I must confess I am in the judiciary, but I haven't seen the bill. I must be very, very candid with myself. I haven't seen the bill, and I don't want to speak to that. They were canvassing genuine concerns for the measure, but I haven't seen the bill. And I don't want to mislead honorable members of this House on matters which I don't have any knowledge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have this practice of wigs and gowns, and then sometimes the weather is very inclement, and people wear, even with the suits, they are sweating inside. Will you, as a Chief Justice, find ways and means?
It's heavier than the gown.
No,
but what you're wearing.
I'm just wearing it for a purpose. But this one, sitting the whole day, what is your view about making a change of this colonial legacy?
Mr. Chairman, with due respect to honorable member, please, that's our uniform. I am all out for the tradition at the bar. I am not going to change it. If I have my own way, I will never.
Please, don't show appreciation by clapping. When you go out, speak your mind to support it. Thank you. Yes, Honor Yelecho, you may continue.
Mr. Chairman, I'm very happy to know that he wants to continue the colonial tradition. The German is further as saying that the whole legal system is colonial. It is not. We have changed from the way presidents wear their dresses to address us. We have changed our tradition. We want to incorporate our cultural values in all this. But since you agree with them, well, I can only say that, as happened in one of the African countries, they had to make exemption for people to wear lighter clothes because people were suffocating and collapsing with what they were wearing. Do you want people to die serving him?
That's a rhetorical question. Please don't answer. You can ask another one if you...
Joy 99.7 FM.
One from the four. Choose one from the four.
No, I won't do that. If he permits me, I'll ask all the four.
Honorable member, please ask your question and then I'll proceed. Very good. He has no more question. She has not spoken at all. Barbara, yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Barbara, you will be allowed to question.
Yes, please. Congratulations. Honorable Chair, thank you very much. Lawyer Musa Ahmed writes a very, I would say, a beautiful article captured as Lawyer Musa hails Justice Enim Yabua. And I found this on Ghana Web, and the date is 16th December 2019. I'm not sure if the nominee has seen it. Honorable Chair, please permit me to read just some few lines. He writes, Justice Enim Yabua is a person of high moral character, saying that President Akufo-Addo ought to be applauded for such a wonderful decision. He goes further to say that the announced expose has affected the image of the country's legal system and was optimistic the appointment of Justice Enim Yabua would bring back the image of the judiciary. Do you agree that the judiciary has lost its image? And if yes, how would you restore this lost image?
Barbara, ask another question. He has answered questions on corruption and perception. which is the same
Okay.
thing. So
Thank
kindly
you very
ask
much,
another
Honorable
question.
Chair. A section of the Ghanaian public is excited about your nomination